Also, he's a lot quicker and whippier and can get out of a bad situation quicker than the rest of them. Slow and steady is the game, just in case we come across any unwanted fire. Oh no! The water point is defended. They have discovered this. The bike is off to go hopefully rally some more troops in support of what we see currently on the field. Hopefully the Bedford has some troops in the back that will deploy and start laying fire and making advances until reinforcements can arrive. We also have some Germans helping the Italians there. The flashes that you can see are also the mortars going off in order to lay some other non-friendly fire against the Allied forces. There is Allied forces making ground cover so that the 2-pound anti-tank gun can be set up. They all deployed from the back of the Bedford truck, and there is other vehicles that will have helped with that. That big boom was the 2-pound anti-tank gun, and it will have made some lovely reenactors very happy. It has unfortunately made some car alarms very unhappy. Our troops are making a slow advance.
Grandad, once they pull out their one, then I don't know what one to look at.
We also have a mortar with the Allied forces against the mortar with the Axis forces. The Allied forces are currently holding their ground in desperate hope of some more troops to come and help them. Some reinforcements are desperately needed. Some more ground troops are being deployed. Backup is slowly arriving. Now that the jeeps have arrived and more reinforcements are on their way, the 2-pound anti-tank gun has been stored. It looks like the Bedford has been caught in some unfriendly fire. However, the cavalry in our lovely jeeps have now taken It looks like some more strategic planning is needed as we hope the Allied forces can take the watering hole from the Axis forces of the Italians and Germans. We have movement for the Allied forces. They have come forward in hopes that they can take. However, the Axis troops have now got reinforcements of their own that have deployed in the field. You can imagine that in a desert, the jeeps and the dodgers circling and doing very quick movements would have worked with a very big dust storm, almost as it is doing today, in order to help cover the foot troops. It looks like our foot troops are getting some new instructions. Whipping up a dust storm yet again in order for some of our ground troops to retreat ever so slightly in order for hopefully a better tactical advance again. However, the Axis forces do seem to be holding their ground. All manpower for the Allied forces are being drawn away from where they can. They are leaving behind their mortar in order to aid the foot troops further. for the Allied forces. However, they are starting to make an advance again. Some troops that you have just seen that look like they have retreated are doing something that was a tactic very well known. They are hiding behind vehicles because the vehicle is a very big, good piece of defence for them in order to advance. They would walk slowly behind the vehicles in order to shield themselves. The vehicles would also come across any injured or those that were able to get themselves up, and they would cart them back to an infirmary to get the assistance they needed. Our Allied troops do seem to be making some progress. The Germans and Italians do seem to be retreating ever so slightly. Our ground troops are being collected and retreating behind their vehicles. Do they think it's a battle that they can win? They are starting to take more and more casualties. The Axis forces are holding their own ground against the Allied forces. Forces are starting to advance again. We are noticing the increase of the dead or injured from the Allied forces. We have lost a Jeep. A Jeep is down. The call has been made. They have lost 2 vehicles. The call has been made to fall back. A tactical retreat may be needed this time. The Axis forces have taken some casualties, but not as many as the Allies. The Axis are slowly making progression up the field toward our Allied troops. A full retreat has been called. They will have to retreat for today and go back and rethink their water tactics of getting some more resources. And as the retreat is going, we are having a mass casualty event. Medics on both sides were asked to aid both Allied and Axis forces. So if they came across an enemy's injured body, they would have been asked to help that injured person. A last-ditch attempt at getting all of the forces that they can home is being made. That whistle marks the end of our battle. Injured and dead, could you please rise?